nothing but it's securely configuring the system, right? Suppose suppose there is a laptop or there is a system or there is a server which is an A. Okay, so you have to protect with the A plus. That means like the systems and servers or some security device or some network device which comes with the default configuration. But as per the hardening steps, you have to securely configure, right? So I think for configuring the systems or by configuring the network devices, as I told, like suppose you have to design, you have to use this protocol. Okay, you have to use this for protocol for secure configuring. Suppose the default configuration says like it can be accessed through telnet, but the secure configuration says you have to use the secure shell SSH, that to version 2. So you have to, as per the hardening, you have to check SSH version 2 whether it is really implemented or not. If not implemented, you have to implement for a secure configuration of the systems. Okay. So it's basically it is used for correcting the misconfiguration. So like suppose when you go to any organization, like these are the default vulnerabilities which you receive from day to day, and by checking the disabling unnecessary services or some sorry. So disabling unnecessary and vulnerable services which are required for your which are not really required for your system, it should be disabled. Okay. So in the for disabling such kind of things, so we'll use these hardening techniques, which is one of the key role in default these things. Yeah. So if something is there, I think if you have any doubts, so with respect to any hardening techniques and all those things, you can just give a chat message so that I can clear your doubt as soon as possible. Okay. So these are some of the things which we do in your hardening point of view. Okay. So basically, it's nothing like it's one of the type like you are making your system more reliable. Okay. So it's not like simply you are taking a default configuration you are running. Okay. So as part of security point of view, as part of hardening point of view, so you should be always make your system more reliable. Like it should not give any more vulnerabilities with respect to, and it should not give you the basic exploit to any members and etc. Okay. So that means like you are protecting systems from exploits and attacks. Okay. So basically your mindset like why I should harden. So basically you are hardening in such a way like your system should not be exploited from any attack. Okay. So this is your objective and this is your agenda should be there for hardening purpose. Okay. So hardening comes under two forms. One is OS. Under OS you have Windows. Yeah. So under Windows, under OS you have Windows. Under the vulnerabilities you have some around Linux, and under the Linux you have the Ubuntu's. Please names few vulnerable services. Yeah. So vulnerable service is nothing but like suppose there is a port 23 sir, which is a telnet, port 21. These are the some of the vulnerable services. So which are really required that should be enabled. If it is not needed, so you can disable it. Okay. So which is really needed for your system that you have to check basically. So port 21 and port 23 and some kind of IMAP which is runs on 143 and 141 which is in plain text this thing. So you have to always change to the 587 or 995 which is a secure kind of mail server communications. So you can do as per of the guiding principles. Okay. So you can for the time being you can also see what exactly which is required for as per your application point of view, you can disable it. Okay. So perform a clean installation. So what basically you have to do a clean installation, how you can be done? Like suppose most of the members, what they will do when you install any Windows PC or any Linux PC. So Linux PC will use key what are the services, it gives a choice to the users. Okay. Whether it is really needed to all the services to be installed or it gives a minimal kind of thing to be installed. But in case of Windows, like once you install all each and everything will be installed. Suppose there is a requirement like suppose if I want to have only Mozilla Firefox to be installed, only Mozilla Firefox can be installed. Suppose there is a requirement like when I see in the most of the PCs like they have Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox and the different browsers installed, which is really not needed for them. Okay. So if it is not needed, so I think you can uninstall those softwares which is not needed for your PCs. Okay, and most of the unnecessary PCs or unnecessary softwares are installed which is not needed for your day-to-day life activities. Okay, install OS updates and patches. Okay, so how you can install the updates and patches? I think you have the default manager which we can install this OS updates. Okay, which gives if you go to the Windows Update Services, so when you click, it gives the different patch levels. What is the security of your PCs, or as I discussed in the starting level, so there is a Bellark advisor which gives the missing security hot fixes for your PC. Okay, it might be a server also. It gives a server also. So once you install those Bellark advisor, so the tool will gives you the information about what is your level of the security, what is the missing security patches, and what exactly you have to install, and how you have to install, and from where exactly you have to install. Okay, so I suggest you to please install that Bellark advisor in your system and run that tool and see what is the level of your security and what is the missing security patches or updates which is really needed for your PC. Okay, remove unnecessary services or application. Okay, as I told, like you can always go to your systems. How to go to the systems, how to check the services is go to services.msc. Okay, in Windows run, type Windows run and type services.msc. Okay, so sir, just I'm typing this command services.msc. Okay, in the chat box I typed. So there, which is really needed, you can enable it. Okay, which not really needed for you, you can disable it from the options. Okay, and also you can also, if suppose there are some applications are there which is really not needed, so you can uninstall the same thing from the control panel. Okay, so control panel, go to start control panel. I'm just typing the same thing in the chat box. You can just see. Yeah, so these are some of the things are there which we can see from the next level of this auditing. Yeah, so yeah, next week we will go. So yeah, so these are some of the things, sir, like which we can clarify in the coming weeks, and also we can restrict the access to the OS as a critical binaries and the system configuration files. So what is basically the system configuration file is nothing but suppose there is a Apache web server which is already configured. Okay, the default Apache is port 80, but as per the security guidelines, so what as per the default, as per the hardening, so it should be always mapped to the port 8080. That means like there is a not easy guessing to the attacker. Okay, so port 80 means anyone can guess and he can open that page and he can see that what exactly the contents are behind the web servers. Okay, that means you are giving a information to the attacker. So always the welcome page of the web server should always be restricted. So that means like this configuration file will be shared to the not to be shared with the users. Okay, the least privileges. What is the least privilege? So what is the least privilege? Nothing but like there are two types of accounts are there already in your system. One is your user level and one is yeah, one is user level and another one is admin level. Okay, so always if you configure any system, if you are giving any access to the your at the system level or server level, you should give always the least privilege. That means suppose there is a tie-up account is already added in your PC. Okay, so that means tie-up should only read privilege can be given. It should not be given a full privilege, right? So the such kind of things you have to harden. So when you just go this, when we always will be giving this hardening document also with this tool and also these things. So you can just see how this privilege can be given, how the privilege can be given at the service level, how the privilege can be given at the application level, how the privilege can be given at the network level, how the privilege can be given at the security level. Okay, so these are the some of the things you have to implement. So we can guarantee like there are your system can be 90% you can be secured. Okay, so by doing this hardening, so rename and disable guest accounts. So why you have to disable the guest account is like always if you see into the most of the PCs, so the guest account is always enabled. So always if it is needed, so you should disable the guest account. Okay, So you should not give a chance to the attacker to come into your PC or your network or your server to do some kind of malicious activities. Okay. See, always is a good practice as per the hardening level, as per the CS benchmark level standards. So always you should rename and you should always disable the guest accounts. Okay. So also auditing critical files. So as I told, there is a system event viewer under the control panel. If you just see into the internet system event manager, okay, system event viewer, there you can see like what exactly the critical files are there, whether the files have been success, whether the files have been failure, and on what date and what time has been done. Okay, so these are the some of the things you have to see as per the your hardening level. Okay, so these are some of the principles are there which you can do. You can harden the systems and you can check at the level. Okay.